Hey, this is Brandy. I'm here with Growth and Harmony, and we're gonna talk about my biggest life-changing experience ever today. So, um, just a basic overview. I was basically in a near-death experience, is what they call it. So, I was in the back of a vehicle on November 14th, 2008, when my friend was driving us back home so that I could make it to work on time and stuff. So during that drive, my friend accidentally clipped somebody when they're trying to go around them. So the person was in front of them, they tried to pass them, and accidentally clipped their vehicle. And so, from what I was told, the vehicle flipped several times over a 4-lane highway. And because I did not have my seatbelt on at the time, I was in the back in the friend's car, I was ejected from the vehicle through the back windshield. So, when this happened, I was impaled through the head, right here, a little bit, with the steel poles and the medians of the highway, if you know what I'm talking about. Hopefully you do. If not, try to, look the next time you're on the highway. There's some steel poles going down it. Anyways, so I basically had a near-death experience, and if you've never heard of that, basically what that means is that you have, like it says, a near-death experience. So you have kind of an experience like you died, only then you come back. Or, awaken in the same body, and that's a near-death experience. So, let's get into that. Because that's not really the point. The point here is that I healed from something that, should have killed me. And my point here is to encourage you as well. So in this accident, not only did I hit that pole, but both of my wrists were broken. So much so that they had to put pins in and some kind of mesh and stuff like that. And then this whole upper side of my face right here, on the right side, was extremely damaged. I had a severe liver laceration and a little bit of kidney damage at the time. Actually, it's the one of the bloodlines that goes to the kidney, to be more specific. And oh man, I just had so much to overcome in that. And I'm not saying this in sadness anymore or regret, because I know that this all happened to me for a reason, and hopefully that reason is to help you know that you can overcome things in your life. So, anyways, back to it. I had all these injuries. I have a scar literally from here, lower than my navel, going vertical, and it looks quite like a zipper. It's quite funny, but that's okay. I'll take it over, dying right now. My life's goals were definitely not over in 2008. I was only 21 years old when this happened. So I have a lot of living to do. I was not ready to go, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. I had so many injuries. It was just, too much to even go over. Let me see. I have the paperwork right here of the doctor's notes. And let me look at some of this right quick. Okay, so yes, definitely the side of my brain on the right side, frontal area, was quite damaged. And I had to have reconstructive surgery, basically, is why I look human. Even. I mean, it was not pretty. And they said that I broke a bone under my eye, over my eye, my nose, like, obviously this whole area on my forehead was like swollen like a pumpkin or something. It was so terrible, but glad that's over. Luckily, my head is much better. Now, it is amazing what they can do with surgery. Like, it's pretty incredible. And the scars are all in my hairline. It's like kind of a halo looking scar in my hairline. So, I mean, nobody ever looks at your scalp that much to notice, they did an amazing job. Thank you so much to all my doctors and nurses, the therapists, everybody. I am eternally grateful. And, there's not much that I can say that I would say that about, but this is definitely one of those things in my life that I am so freaking grateful for. And so, okay, and then my upper arm, I almost forgot about that. I was steel rodding my upper arm here, and you can kind of maybe see some of the scars. But really, again, they did a pretty freaking good job of covering these things up. So, wow, I can't thank them enough for doing such a great job. Anyways, again, both of my wrists here. Again, you can see some of my scars here. Let's see, what else? Okay, that's the liver and kidney laceration there. And then they've got a spot where it had like a piece of something in my upper leg, my upper thigh area. And then, something was going on with my feet. I don't know what was going on with my feet because I don't really remember anything with that, but they have circles around that too on this diagram here from the hospital notes. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that. And then I guess there was abrasion on my very low back area. So yeah. Anyways, with just a head injury, if you don't know anything about head injuries, they are quite difficult to overcome. And most people don't. Okay? Most people will not be sitting here talking to you about their head injury or how they got better. Okay? So, let's talk about that. So your frontal right lobe area has a lot to do with memory, both short-term and long-term. It also has to do with your eye, obviously, your vision, and I had some hearing loss at the beginning too, and I don't know if that's part of the head trauma or if that was just chaos going on, or what that was. So a lot of that has to do with your memory, though. And your memories are basically the story of your life and everyone you know. And if you have a problem remembering what's going on in your life, it's pretty hard to live it. And so I had to relearn a lot of things. Also, I didn't point out, I had a trach too. I almost forgot about that. The lung collapse, and I had a trach. So with a trach, if you don't know, that is right here. And it's basically to help you breathe, because I had a collapsed lung as well. So I had quite a lot to get over, as you can tell. And so my story is that you can heal too. And I'm going to tell you how that all happened and kind of the time frame that most of that happened in. So I was in the hospital in Colombia, and I thought they were going to pull the plug on me, okay? Like, they were talking about how likely it would be that I would be a vegetable for the rest of my life, and kind of telling my parents that. And I had heard that, overheard that, and whether they knew it or not, I consciously knew what they were talking about. And so I devised a plan to communicate to them that I did not want to be unplugged, if you know where I'm going with that. So, and since I couldn't talk, because I had all these tubes in me and stuff, it was very difficult to get anyone's attention or try to communicate in any way. So the way that I communicated to the nurses, you know, once they were done with their conversation and they were out of the room, my parents were kind of, you know, talking about what was going on as they left and everything. And so I got up while the nurse was still in the room. I got up and took a couple steps. And that was my sign to her that, hey, you guys need to reevaluate. I'm very much here. You know, and so that's very big turning point right then. And I knew that I was going to make it. Not only because I had come back from the near-death experience, but I wasn't going down again. I was just like, no, I was sent back for a reason. I'm supposed to be here. I have a purpose here, and I know that. And my purpose, of course, is not only to share my story, but also to help others heal too. So here I am telling you this story now, and I'm so happy to do so. You know, I get a lot of people that ask me, like, about how I feel telling my story all the time. When I tell it, they're always like, well, you know, does that bring any bad feelings for you up? Or, like, is it hard to tell your story? No, I absolutely love telling my story because I love to inspire others. That's all I ever want to do is help others, because I know after that my life isn't just about being here and, you know, when's the next drinking party, or, you know, who's going where to work. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that we're kind to each other and that we help each other. And that we learn our own soul lessons as well. And, you know, it's a really long road getting here to even realize that. And I know that sounds very woo-woo or spiritual or whatever. And a lot of you are just very analytical, and that's okay because, you know, you're on your path too. And that's all right. Everyone has their own time to make progress, and, you know, have free will. Like I talked about in another video that I've done, is we all have free will, you know? And so I try not to judge anyone, even if, you know, they criticize me or anything like that. I try very hard not to be judgmental. And I know that I'm here for them, whether, you know, they want to accept my help or not. The people that will help, will accept help. And the people that won't just won't. And there's nothing I can do to change that, and that's fine. You know, everyone has choices. That's how this life works. So, anyways, back to my story. So this happened on November 14th of 2008, I believe it was. Yeah, 2008. And, you know, I was pretty well better by my birthday, December 1st, which is, ironically, the day that they released me from that first hospital. So I was well enough to go home by that point, even though they told my parents that it was unlikely that I would ever recover from any of this. And, you know, the doctors are even shocked, you know? They're even shocked. Like, what just happened? This is a miracle. I am a miracle. And I get to wake up and, you know, hopefully if I'm not stressing myself about other stuff that's going on in my life and overthinking things, usually I wake up and I think about the fact that, you know, there's a reason I'm here. I'm a miracle for a reason. And I've got to live my life purpose out. And so, oh man, it was just amazing. Like, you know, from November 14th to December 1st, I made an amazing recovery. And I remember so many people said that they were sending out good vibes and praying for me and all this other stuff. But, you know, it wouldn't have happened if I didn't have the determination to get through it all. And, you know, whatever you believe the higher source is, definitely was helping me. There is no question about that. But I had the faith. I had the faith that it was going to happen. And people don't get that. They're like, oh, well, why doesn't it happen to so-and-so? Well, first of all, do they want to get better? Do they really want to get better? Do they believe that they can get better? Or have they been told, like so many others, that miracles don't happen anymore? Yes, they do. And I'm living proof of it. Like, here I am. You know? You can't argue with that. I mean, you can, but here I am, you know? Alive, speaking, living my life. I drive a car. I went to college after the car accident. And I did really freaking well. I did better in college that time than the first time I went to school. Like, you know, how radical of a change is that? How crazy is that to even say? And it happened to me, and I know that it happened, but it still sounds ridiculous when people, like, I tell people my story. They're always, like, super shocked and just like, oh my god, I never knew there's anything wrong. I didn't know there was anything wrong with you. When did this happen? I'm like, well, November 14th or of 2008. Excuse me. So, I was out of the hospital before Christmas. From November the 14th to December 1st, I was released from the hospital, walking and eating and talking. Yes, I had to fine tune it after that. Yes, I still had a little ways to go for sure. But, you can't even, deny that miracles happen. And they happen more than just me. I know that there's tons of people out there that have things happen to them every day, But my biggest thing is I believed. I believed with all my might that I was going to get better. I had to get better. There was no choice for me. It was, you're gonna get better or your parents are gonna give up on you and pull the plug. Nobody wants that. Nobody does. But I believed so much that there was no question in my mind that I was going to get better. Even, when people would tell me things like, oh, well, such and such, you can't get better from that, yada yada. No, I believed through it all. I had the most faith out of everyone. And all I know is, things can happen like that, and you need to be reminded of that. I think that's why you're watching this video right now. I think it's because you needed reminded that miracles exist. They do happen. They still happen every day. And you need to put the limitations out of your mind. Okay, I know that you listen to the radio or watch the TV or whatever you're watching, and you hear people constantly tell you that things can't be done. All the time. So much brainwashing out there, or just people that don't believe in anything. They got their spirit killed when they stopped believing in Santa, and now they can't believe in anything. Oh man. But yeah, so I think that's gonna wrap it up for this video, but we'll definitely talk more about this because, like I said, this is the most transformational thing I've ever gone through in this life so far. And just share my story because somebody out there needs to know. They need to know to have hope and to believe and have faith. And whatever you have faith in is okay. As long as you have faith. As long as you believe. Believe in yourself. Believe in a higher power. Believe in whatever you want. But believe that miracles still happen. And I am one of those examples. And I'm glad to be here for you. Of course, if you have any questions for me, put those down in the comments below. I will be looking at those later on. And just love and light, guys. Love and light. Love you all.